changed over the past 10 days. Need evidence? Well, just look in today's New York Times. In Afghanistan, China is ready to step into the void. The speed and scope of the Taliban's takeover in Afghanistan have prompted introspection in the West over what went wrong and how, after billions of dollars spent on a 20-year war effort, it could all end. China, though, is looking forward. It is ready to step into the void left by the hasty U.S. retreat to seize a golden opportunity. That was not written by a Republican angry with President Biden. It was written by a retired colonel in China's People's Liberation Army and is a toned-down version of the rhetoric in the Global Times, the Communist Party's mouthpiece, that has spent the past week celebrating America's defeat in Afghanistan. Defeat is their word, not mine, although it is perhaps apt. BRUEN knows a lot about dealing with America's allies and enemies. He ran the State Department Center for Global Engagement under President Obama. Brett, good to see you as always. Last week, you had an op-ed that said Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, needs to resign in disgrace. Isn't it his job to tell the president, gee, our allies don't trust us and our enemies are kind of laughing at us over what's happened in Afghanistan?
Look, I mean, the job of the National Security Advisor is to serve it straight to the president. He has got to be able to have that honest conversation, not what we're hearing, unfortunately, at a lot of these press briefings, both that Jake Sullivan, again, this afternoon gave, as well as the president, which is trying to put a positive spin on things. But, unfortunately, our allies, I think, are tiring of this kind of rhetoric. What they want to hear is the truth. What they want is some acknowledgement, both of what went wrong and how it's going to get fixed.
The vice president is in Singapore right now, and if she gave any solace to the Singapore prime minister, who is a strong ally of the United States and a vital one, considering where Singapore is, you couldn't tell. Take a listen.
Countries make calculations and take positions, and they have to make recalculations and adjust their positions from time to time. Sometimes it can be done smoothly. Sometimes there are hiccups. Sometimes there's things go awry and take time to put right.
I got 30 seconds. Translate the diplomatic speak for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a recovering diplomat, what I'm hearing is that age-old trick of just describing the problem, well, not, putting your finger on the scale too much. Obviously, he doesn't want to offend his guest. He doesn't want to break ties with the United States. So he just, gazes at the problem and provides a circumlocucious way of describing it.
Yeah, miscalculations and recalculations. You have to imagine there's a number of folks who are wondering that if they call, be it the NATO allies or be it the Singapore or be it the Taiwanese leaders, they have to wonder if when they call, they'll get the same treatment America's allies in Afghanistan did. Brett, we're going to have to leave it there. Have you back later in the week as things develop.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. A few million miles later,